Yes, you heard that right. Some people in the UK could genuinely pay absolutely nothing for council tax in 2025. But here's what most people don't realise. The system has changed significantly this year, and thousands who think they qualify actually don't. Meanwhile, others who've never considered applying could be missing out on hundreds, even thousands of pounds in savings. I'm going to walk you through exactly who qualifies for these exemptions and discounts, the new rules that came into effect this year, and most importantly, the specific groups who are being left behind despite desperately needing help. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you stand and what steps to take if you qualify. Council tax bills have risen by an average of 5.1% this year, with some areas seeing increases of over £100 annually. For many households already struggling with cost of living pressures, every pound matters. What's changed in 2025 is that several councils have updated their discount schemes, new government guidance has clarified eligibility criteria, and crucially, the income thresholds for certain exemptions have been adjusted. The problem: these changes aren't being communicated clearly. Many people are either applying for discounts they don't qualify for, or missing out on significant savings they're actually entitled to. This affects millions of households across England, Wales, and Scotland. Let's start with the people who can legitimately pay zero council tax. These are complete exemptions, not just discounts. Student households remain the largest group paying nothing. If everyone in your property is a full-time student, apprentice, or student nurse, you pay zero. This includes postgraduate students and those on sandwich courses. However, there's a crucial change for 2025. If you're studying part-time but it's more than 21 hours per week and leads to a qualification, you might now qualify, but only if your course started after September 2024. Severely mentally impaired individuals and households where everyone falls into this category pay nothing. This requires a doctor's certificate and affects conditions like dementia, severe learning disabilities, or brain injuries. What many don't realize is that this also applies to the partners or family members living with them in certain circumstances. Properties left empty by students. If you're a student who's moved out but still own the property, it remains exempt as long as it was your main residence during study. Ministry of Defence accommodation and properties occupied solely by asylum seekers also qualify for complete exemptions. Here's what's crucial. These exemptions are automatic in some cases but require application in others. Many councils don't proactively tell you about them. Even if you don't qualify for complete exemption, several groups can reduce their council tax to virtually nothing. Single-person discount gives you 25% off automatically, but here's what people miss. If you live with someone who's disregarded, like a full-time student, apprentice, or severely mentally impaired person, you still get this discount. Many households don't realize their circumstances qualify. Council tax support is means-tested and can reduce your bill to zero in many cases. The key changes for 2025. Some councils have increased the income thresholds, meaning people who didn't qualify before might now be eligible. If you're on universal credit, pension credit, or JSA, you likely qualify for significant reductions. Disability discounts can knock entire bands off your bill. If your home has been adapted for someone with disabilities, extra bathroom, wheelchair access, additional space needed for equipment, you could drop from Band D to Band C rates, saving hundreds annually. Military discounts have expanded in 2025. Service families and veterans in certain circumstances now qualify for additional reductions that weren't available before. This is the frustrating part. The people who desperately need help but don't fit the criteria, working families just above the threshold, are the biggest group left behind. If you earn just £50 minus £100 per week over the council tax support threshold, you might pay full rates despite struggling financially. These thresholds vary by council, and many haven't increased them in line with inflation. For example, a family earning £320 per week might get full council tax support, but if they earn £380 per week, they get nothing. That £60 extra income results in losing £1, 200 plus in annual support, creating an effective marginal tax rate of over 100%. It's financially punishing for trying to work more hours, Self-employed individuals with fluctuating income often struggle. The assessment process looks at average earnings, but if you had one good month that pushes you over the limit, you might lose support for the entire year. This particularly affects freelancers, contractors, and seasonal workers who might earn well for 3 months but struggle for 9 months. Adult children living at home create complications. If your 18-year-old works part-time while studying, they might disqualify the household from certain discounts, even though they contribute minimally to household income. Renters in houses of multiple occupation face unique challenges. The rules around who's responsible for council tax in shared houses have tightened, and many young professionals find themselves paying full rates despite having limited individual income. Carers who don't meet specific criteria get overlooked. You might spend 35+ hours per week caring for a relative, but if they don't receive certain benefits or if you receive any payment for caring, you might not qualify for discounts. Here's something vital. Eligibility varies dramatically by location. Scottish councils have different rules from English ones. Some areas have additional local discounts funded by their own budgets. London boroughs often have higher income thresholds for support, but also higher bills, so the savings don't always balance out. Northern councils might have lower thresholds but more generous percentage discounts. Wales introduced significant changes in April 2025, affecting how council tax support is calculated for pension age claimants. If you're over pension age in Wales, your eligibility might have changed without you realizing. New build properties have specific rules about when council tax starts being charged, and these timings changed in several regions this year. The application process itself can determine success or failure. New business sefudala cox apply online when possible ****. It's faster and creates a clear record. Most councils process online applications within 4 to 6 weeks, compared to 8 to 12 weeks for postal applications. Common mistakes that kill applications: providing incomplete information, not including required documentation, or applying for the wrong type of discount. If you're unsure which category fits your situation, call the council first rather than guessing. Evidence requirements have tightened. You'll need recent payslips, bank statements, and proof of benefits. Student exemptions require enrollment certificates from your institution, not just student ID cards. Backdating rules vary significantly. Some discounts can be backdated 12 months, others only apply from the application date. This can mean the difference between getting a £800 refund or nothing. I'd love to hear about your experiences in the comments. Have you successfully applied for council tax discounts? Are you in one of those frustrating situations where you don't quite qualify but still struggle with payments? Your experiences help others understand what to expect. If this information has helped you realize you might qualify for discounts you hadn't considered, hit that like button. It helps more people discover these money-saving tips. And definitely subscribe because I regularly cover updates to benefits, discounts, and financial support that could save you hundreds of pounds. I know how frustrating it feels when you're struggling financially but don't fit neatly into the support categories. The system isn't perfect, and there are genuine gaps that leave deserving people without help. If you don't qualify for major discounts, focus on what you can control. Check if your property is in the correct council tax band. Around 400,000 properties are in bands that are too high. Challenge this separately from applying for discounts. For those who do qualify, don't let pride or complexity stop you from applying. These systems exist to help, and you're not taking money away from someone else by using support you're entitled to. Keep records of everything. Save confirmation emails, note down reference numbers, and keep copies of all documents you submit. If there are delays or problems, this documentation becomes crucial. Remember, even if you don't qualify for complete exemption, combining multiple smaller discounts, single-person discount, disability reductions, and council tax support can still save you significant money. Let me quickly recap the key points. Complete exemptions are available for students, severely mentally impaired individuals, and specific property types. Significant discounts exist through council tax support, single-person discounts, and disability reductions. However, working families just above thresholds, self-employed individuals, and certain carers are often left behind despite financial struggles. The most important actions you can take right now: first, check your exact eligibility on your local council's website. Don't assume based on general rules. Second, if you think you qualify for anything, apply as soon as possible, because some discounts don't backdate. Third, even if you don't qualify for major reductions, verify your property is in the correct council tax band. Thanks for watching, and I hope this saves you money in 2025. Drop any questions in the comments, give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one where we'll be covering the latest universal credit changes that could affect your payments.